morning and welcome to the weekend edition of the newspaper review. We are aware that some parts of the world and even here in Nigeria are experiencing lockdown, and as we all know, it is for the best. But this morning we are going to see how the lockdown is affecting the people and how they are handling the situation. I am Charles Philip Owakolam. Let's begin with the this day newspaper. Okay, COVID-19. Lagos discharges 11 more patients as cases rise to 184. The kicker says FG distributes Jack Ma's 110,751 masks, shields, overall gowns to states. Successfully traces 4,260 contacts, opens accounts for COVID-19 engagements. Msps tests negative. Global cases surpass 1 million mark. WHO asks countries on lockdown to provide for the poor. Okay, we have a small picture here titled Shielding the Economy from left to right. Group Managing Director, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Malam Mele Kyari. Minister of State for Petroleum, Chief Timipre Silva. The President Muhammadu Buhari. Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed. And Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, during the presidential briefing on the impact of COVID-19 on the economy, happened in Abuja yesterday. Let's move up. Despite pandemic, Buhari insists on project implementation, salaries payment. Details from front page continued on page 9. Above the masthead, governors urge CBN to suspend states' debt deductions to meet presidential task force on internal borders closure. Okay, finally, FRS collects 1.11 trillion naira in first quarter, records 10.4% revenue increase. FRS collects 1.11 trillion naira in first quarter, records 10.4% revenue increase. You will find it on page 5. Alright, let's move on to the next one. New Telegraph newspaper. Coronavirus. Governor seeks stoppage of 614 billion naira bailout deductions as they ask federal government, CBN, to restructure debts. Buhari orders payment of salaries. Federal government directs Chevron orders to cut workforce. You see the details on pages 3 and 26. Like I announced, like I read on the previous paper, the picture here shows some of the attendees of the meeting of the presidential briefing on the impact of COVID-19, the CBN governor, NNPC managing director. And okay, the cases of COVID-19 here in Nigeria and the global cases are on both sides of the picture. In Nigeria we have, as recorded by this paper, 184 cases, 2 deaths, discharged 20, and active cases right now 162. In Lagos we have 98, Abuja 38, Osun 14, Oyo 8, Akwa Ibom 5, Ogun 4, Kaduna 4, Edo 4 as well, Bauchi 3, Enugu 2, Ekiti 2, Rivers and Benue 1 apiece. Okay, on global cases, we have 1,007,757, and global recovery we have 210,590. Global deaths we have 52,610. In Italy we have 13 915 cases. In Spain, there are 10. In Spain, there are 10. These are the death cases. In Italy, we have 13,915 cases. In Spain, we have 10,106. USA 5,807. France 5,387. In China, we have 3,318. Iran 3,160. UK 2,921. Netherlands, we have 1,339, while Germany has 1,107. Bottom strip stories: federal government seeks 11,100 bed spaces as COVID-19 cases hit 184. NCDC, Akwa Ibom, Bika, over 5 positive cases. Lagos discharges 11 patients. UCH CMD, UI profs recover, test negative. Article's son, I'll soon be discharged. Get details on pages 3, 4 and 6. Larger waistline from heavy drinking increases stroke risk. That is on page 26. I move up now above the masthead. COVID-19. Massive traffic crashes internet networks. Operators need more investment in capacity, says ACNN. Okay, the details start from the front page, continued on page 5. France, Germany evacuates 637 nationals from Nigeria, is on page 4. And coming down below the masthead now, MTN supports federal government with 500 million naira, offers free SMS to subscribers, is on page 5. PDP insists on 90 naira fuel price, says 1.50 naira fraudulent, find it on page 30. Okay, FRS collects 1.123 trillion naira first quarter revenue, it's on page 25. And finally, we have COVID-19. Nigeria's airlines risk $760 million loss. 91,380 job cuts. That's according to the IATA. You find it on page 3. Okay, with that I move to the next one. That's Blueprint newspaper. Presidential Committee on COVID-19 declares Nigeria's economy in bad shape. Buhari wants salaries prioritized. Virus may not abate, says the NCDC. Get details of this when you get the Blueprint newspaper. Okay, in case you can't get the papers physically, you can check online. Cases now 184. Lagos discharges 11. WHO seeks relief for Nigeria and others. 28-year-old killed in Delta. Government probes shooting. Find it on page 13. My infection humbling experience, says Babandede. Okay, get details on page 30. And the pictures we have by my left, Sheikh Abubakar Guni, Central Market, Kaduna, on Thursday after curfew by the Kaduna state government and won by the right. People waiting to collect free food promised the indigent by the Lagos state government at the gate of a local community development area. Okay. Bottom strip story: crisis looms in Gombe APC as party expels Kumo. Rep member fingers Goje, says sack illegal. Lawmaker lawmaker not giving fair hearing, says the party scribe. Okay, we need palliatives too, says the NYCN, tells federal government. It's on page 7. 16 Ebonyi returnees undergo forced COVID-19 tests. Page 16. Saudi imposes 24-hour curfew on Makkah and Medina. Is on page 13. Don't relax lockdown order. Nance tells federal government. You find it on page 7. Okay, let's move up. Above the lead story, Commissioner assaults Kogi Queen, Governor orders probe. Page 9. Save us from coronavirus. Freed Nigerian inmates in Ethiopia beg Buhari. You find it on page 8. Lockdown violators risk 6 months jail in Osun. That's the last one. You find it on page 5. With that, I go to the Guardian newspaper. Lockdown incites anger. Okay. Crisis in Delta as soldier kills resident for not stopping at roadblock. Government courting uncontrollable regime of rebellion. ASU others warn. Governors beg federal government to suspend state deductions. Buhari meets panel assessing impact of virus on economy. 11 more patients discharged in Lagos. Details from front page, continued on page 6. Okay, coming down, we see the picture of the meeting and the presidential briefing. And Senate orders worry as presidency delays PIB. MOMAN insists on oil sector restructuring, while petrol should not sell above 19 naira by PDP. Abuja marketers still await order to sell at 123.50. DPR warns against hoarding of products. DPR warns against hoarding of products. Details on front page, continued on page 8. Bottom strip stories. Buhari orders prompt payment of salaries over COVID-19. Page 3. Federal government apologizes for begging American billionaire for ventilators. You find it on page 3. Otom seeks arrest of sit-at-home order violators. Okay, and we have diagrammatic representation or chart of COVID-19 cases in Nigeria. All right. Let's hold on here for a commercial break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
God created man, his greatest asset, in his image and handed over the entire world to him. As the journey progresses, man finds himself in a challenging time as he battles with the coronavirus. The Diocese of Lagos Anglican Communion enjoins all Nigerians, especially Lagosians, to cooperate with the government and relevant agencies as we work together to defeat this epidemic. Stand strong, but staying at home is key to help stop the spread. If you feel unwell, call NCDC's 24/7 toll-free number. Do not panic, because there is no fear in faith. Keep trusting God and keep praying. This too will pass away, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. This message is brought to you by the Right Reverend Dr. Humphrey Bamishebi Olumakaye on behalf of the Anglican Diocese of Lagos.
Welcome back. We'll continue the update from the leadership newspaper. Coronavirus, federal government tracks down 71% of 6,000 contacts. You find it on page 4 of the Friday leadership newspaper. Coronavirus cases surpass 1 million worldwide. Nigeria's confirmed cases now 184. Another 11 patients recover, discharged in Lagos. PMB's daughter out of isolation, out of self-isolation. Governors want bailout repayment suspended. Presidential task force not in charge of cash donation, says the SGF. PSC counters PDP and NEF on president's palliatives. Bottom strip stories. Omoagege, Okowa, Keyamo demand probe of Warri killing. FIRS generates 1.115 trillion naira in 3 months. President orders payment of workers' salaries. Okay, let's move up now above the lead story. Buratai commissions locally made mine-resistant vehicles. Buratai commissions locally made mine-resistant vehicles. You find details on front page, continued on page 4. That's all from leadership. I'll move on to Nigerian Tribune. COVID-19, Lagos discharges 11 more patients. UCH CMD now negative. College of Medicine Provost, Deputy awaiting last test. New cases, Lagos 7, FCT 3. Atiku's son shares experience in isolation. Pages 2 and 26. Alright, picture showing a passenger engaging security agents in physical combat after refusing to have his temperature checked at the FCT Nasarawa border in Abuja on Thursday. Wow. Alright, by the left side of the picture, Kogi governor orders investigation into rape allegation against commissioner. Page 30. Restructure all debt service payments. Governors tell federal government and CBN. Page 5. Agege Mosque shut down as worshippers attack COVID-19 task force. You see it on page 26. The other side of the picture says states should provide 300 bed capacity centers. That's according to presidential task force. You see it on page 3. As coronavirus cases expected to rise dramatically, outrage over finance minister's arms begging for AIDS. Page 6. Okay, above the masthead, Nigeria, Chad, Cameroon, Niger in joint onslaught against Boko Haram. Bandits killed 22 in Sokoto. Another 7 killed. 17 houses burnt in Plateau. Alright, bottom strip stories. Lockdown, 1 killed in Delta. Governor orders probe. 2 naval personnel beaten in reprisal. IGP cautions personnel on human rights abuse. Falano, Amnesty International condemn brutalization of violators. You see story on page 8 and 27. Okay, lastly, I want to take from the business day for some business stories. Reprieve of Nigeria as oil prices jump on Trump's intervention. That's the lead story. Saudi, Russia may cut production, end price war. Saudi calls emergency OPEC meeting. Stories on front page, continued on page 8. Coronavirus, broken health centers in villages put 100 million rural dwellers at risk. Lagos discharges 11 more patients. And coming down, how Nigerian companies, governments can respond to COVID-19. That's according to McKinsey. That's on page 6. Farmers say lockdown hampering essential input supply. Okay, that's the last on the business day. You find it on page 6, and that is as far as we can go on the program for today. Thank you for watching. Remember to keep staying safe as we are on lockdown in some parts of Nigeria. I remain Charles Philip Wakalam. Bye-bye.
God created man, his greatest asset, in his image and handed over the entire world to him. As the journey progresses, man finds himself in a challenging time as he battles with the coronavirus. The Diocese of Lagos Anglican Communion enjoins all